wrestling bout. Casual guys talking loud. WWE makes them proud. From the ropes to the mat, can you feel that wrestling bout? Another Monday Night Raw, in the ring they clash. Smackdown Friday night, body slam with the crash. The casual guy talking, don't let it pass. He spits the truth in the wrestling podcast bash. From the top ropes they dive for the belt defense. Blood, sweat, and tears, they reap what they spend. In the square circle, lives twist and then listen to the tales, the casual guy's intent. From the top ropes they dive for the belt defense. Blood, sweat, and tears, they reap what they spend. In the square circle, live, twist, and then listen to the tales, the casual guy's intent. Tune in, tune out, hear the rush out. WrestleMania, wrestling wasteland. Heroes fall, villains rise, they dance the violent dance. Chairs, tables, ladders, stakes, the audience in a trance. Casual guy breaks it down chance by chance. He peels back the curtain, gives secrets a glance. Podcast waves reverberate like a count. Each move, each fight, not just for the clout. Standing tall in chaos, what it's all about. The casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Battles, unending tales, flashing lights, roaring crowd, no trumped up sales. Beyond the scripted saga, reality prevails. In the casual guy's realm, the truth never fails. Waves reverberate like a count. Each move, each fight, not just for the clout. Standing tall in chaos, what it's all about. The casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Bone-crushing battles and unending tales, flashing lights, roaring crowd, no trumped up sales. Beyond the scripted saga, reality prevails. In the casual guy's realm, the truth never fails.
All right, let's go. We are back with another episode of the Casual Guy Cast. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in on a Wednesday. There's a couple of things that I wanted to hit that I didn't hit last time we were around. And I want to start off with some crown jewel stuff, specifically the belt and how that comes into play. You know, I haven't really heard much on how the belt is going to be defended, that sort of thing. I guess my biggest question is like, is this a one time a year thing that we're gonna have this matchup between the two champions going for the crown jewel belt? What happens if, let's say, Gunther wins, which that is my early prediction. Gunther is going to beat Cody Rhodes. You may have some sort of interference from the bloodline, but we'll see. But let's say Gunther wins. And I've also made a way too early prediction that I think Drew McIntyre is going to be the one to defeat Gunther for his heavyweight belt. So let's say 6 months down the road, Drew beats Gunther, wins the heavyweight belt. Where does the crown jewel belt go from there? Does it go to Cody? Does it go to Drew since he beat Gunther? Does it just disappear and then we revisit it again next October or November, whenever it is? I don't even know what day of the month or what day it is right now, but what happens to the belt? In my opinion, I think they have an opportunity to use this belt during some of the maybe quieter times. I know a lot of times coming off of a big win or a big title change, things can kind of cool down a little bit in the WWE with some of the storylines. And I think this would be a great belt to like sort of make um, a PLE a bigger event than what was originally slated. So in my world, I would love to see the crown jewel belt um, being able to be defended and fought for throughout the entire year, not just at this one event. Now, I get that they're trying to make the crown jewel event bigger because it's maybe not, it's not one of the big three, I guess you would call them, of PLE events, big four, whatever you want to call it. Uh, but I think you could have a little bit of fun throughout the year with this belt. Maybe crown jewel belt holder loses his or her title, and now you have a matchup between the two new belt holders that it could sort of fill in the gaps throughout the year and make some of these PLEs um, a little more interesting. My biggest thing, I've been crying uh, for the past month or two that I think the WWE needs more belts. This was not the belt that I expected. And, I just hope there's more to come. I think that they're just logged with talent, and I think belts obviously make things more interesting. So I hope that they introduce one or two more belts. Maybe you transition some of the NXT belts up. But I think NXT, not to really talk about ratings, but they smoked AEW last night in the ratings by almost triple, a little more than double. And so, you know, I don't know. I just think more belts would make things interesting and maybe a little more believable for some of the um, guys who probably aren't in contention for a heavyweight title. So bring back the TV belt. Do it. Um, there's a couple little notes. RVD, Mick Foley both have signed Legends contracts, which I think is cool. So hopefully, especially Mick Foley, like get this dude back to glory inside the ring in some capacity. I'd love to see some sort of cameo with him and The Rock, if that's possible. They had a friendship, they've had a feud, so I think you could go either way with that one, but that would be cool to see. Um, Kind of going back to Monday Night Raw, the biggest match of the night was the Sami Zayn versus Gunther World Heavyweight Title match. I thought it was a really fun match. I thought it was great, and I thought there was a lot of drama going on during the match. Gunther ends up winning this and retaining, and I think hopefully this is sort of the end of this feud, but I'm not ready to stick a fork in it yet. Um, but if Gunther is out of the picture for Sami Zayn now, I think that does free him up to maybe get involved with the bloodline, with Jimmy coming back. and reuniting with Roman. Maybe Sammy makes a return to their side as well, and um, maybe looking forward a little bit to SmackDown. Kevin Owens, Roman, and Cody are all slated to be in attendance for this upcoming Friday night SmackDown. And, you know, um, there could be some sort of storyline there. Uh if you saw on like social media, something the WWE did with I guess like the post event uh activities is they had a street fight between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes outside the arena after the pressers, the match, all that stuff. It might have not have been after the pressers, but regardless, you had Kevin Owens approach Cody Rhodes after the event and just start beating him up in the streets, and they sold it like more of a street fight brawl. But what I think the brilliant thing that WWE did was they allowed the audience to be the one to share the footage of it. They had no cameras down there. They may have. Um, but the only way it was released was through someone who witnessed it going on below them, and they just let the video do the work and go viral. And I love this idea. I think this was really smart by them. I think it's a cool way to get the fans interacting, and whoever that person was that filmed it, they get home that night and they're like, "Oh my god, like, my video's going viral. I'm the one who, shot that footage of them fighting out there." Now, do I think it's out of the realm of possibility that, maybe it was just someone who worked for WWE that was up there and, maybe they were the ones who recorded it on their phone, or, maybe they put someone up there and they're like, "Hey, look down there. KO and Cody are fighting," and kind of gain some eyes on it that way. I don't know. I don't know what the truth is, but I still think it was really cool. I think it becomes more real if it was like a fan, if it were a fan that like honestly captured that and posted it and it goes viral and everyone's seeing it. I think that's one of the coolest things. And this is a very fan driven sport. So I really love what they did there. I thought it was so cool, and we could all be so lucky as to be the person who was filming when that stuff happened. So love that stuff. We'll see what happens on Friday night. But I think we're kind of going further down the spiral here. Um, you know, uh, obviously, Gunther and Cody are going to be facing off at Crown Jewel. So, where does KO fit into the mix? I think you probably have some sort of match between Cody and KO leading up to Crown Jewel. I'm not sure if that's gonna be this week, but I think they would likely, try to build the drama a little bit. You might have a match before Crown Jewel, and then maybe they're setting up a match between, Cody and KO for the next PLE beyond, um, Crown Jewel, so we'll see. Uh, it's a tough call for me, but let's go ahead and we'll go towards the Donnybrook match between Sheamus and Pete Dunne. I thought this was such a cool match, and I love the rivalry that they've had. Don't call me Butch, all that stuff. I think that's been great, and I think it's good to give give Pete Dunne a little bit of spotlight. I think he's kind of fun, and he's kind of weird and different, and he's been getting to use the mic quite a bit more now with this feud with Sheamus. So, hats off to both those dudes. This was an incredible match, in my opinion. I thought it was awesome. With the crowning moment, sort of being that white noise off the top of the whiskey barrels onto the table. That wiped both the dudes out. Sheamus comes out on top here. Um, and I think it's probably safe to say that this rivalry has ended now. And maybe old Pete Dunne can move on to a new opponent. Speaking of moving on to new opponents, the Wyatt Six, they have shifted their focus and attention towards Karrion Cross in the Final Testament in, probably about a month or so ago. I felt like the writing was on the wall here with this rivalry. It just makes sense. You got the two spooky groups going up against each other, or two of the spooky groups, I should say. Um, so you're starting to you saw the Wyatt Six do the video interruption of the Final Testament last Monday on Raw, and they do those little drops with the video cutting out, and the TV fuzz and all that crap. Uh, so I'm looking forward to that. I think Karrion Cross is one of those dudes that just needs a legit rivalry. Like I said before, he had that little stint with Drew, but I don't think Drew's character was as good as it is now, and I don't think Karrion Cross in the Final Testament were as good as they were then as they are now. So I think this is really cool, but I think this probably runs, a couple of months, something like that. And then I think eventually Wyatt Six is gonna shift their focus onto the Judgment Day. I think that gives Judgment Day enough time to figure out this ongoing um sort of Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley feud. I think the Rhea stuff with Liv is eventually going to subside somehow. Whether that, I'm not ready to pick on who ends up with the title there. I would hope it's going to be a Rhea Ripley, and I could see that evolving into a Raquel feud. Um, but we'll see. I think the interest in the Dom um Rhea Live love triangle is sort of dissipating. And so maybe you still keep the magic in the bottle if it shifts to a Rhea versus um Raquel Rodriguez feud. And I think that's more believable. I don't think there's any chance in hell that Liv in real life takes out Rhea Ripley, but we're not living in real life. We're living in the WWE universe. Um, so we'll see. I just think if you have a Wyatt Six versus Judgment Day, I feel like the Judgment Day is kind of slipping a little bit in popularity without Damien and Rhea there, and maybe there's not as much interest in what they're doing. So I think this could maybe fuel the Judgment Day a little bit more versus the Wyatt Six, who are really over with the fans, and people are loving that. So stay tuned, I guess. You had a little segment there where the Miz was talking to Karrion Cross, and then here comes our truth, and they're Miz is like, the awesome truth is done. So he's challenging our truth to a match next week. Um, so I don't know. Can we please find our truth a home? Maybe it is just as a singles contender. And that's great. I think people love him. He's easy to get behind. He's funny on the mic. Um, but I just love for this guy to have a home. Is he a singles guy? Is he gonna jump in with a faction or something like that? I don't know, but I'd like to see it. There was a 10-woman tag team match that involved Natalia, Carter, Chance, um, Valkyria, and Vega. Uh, they were facing off against the Pure Fusion Collective and Unholy Union. I don't hate the pairing of Pure Fusion Collective and Unholy Union. And once again, I'm saying it. I think PFC is getting a push. But the other group ended up winning this one, and I love what Lyra Valkyria is bringing to the stage each week. That she's on. I think she's legit, and I like seeing her involved in these matches. Not a ton to report. It was on, for a 10-person tag match, it was on the shorter end. Um, but that is also due to the new format for Raw, which was 2 hours starting this week. And they're going to be moving SmackDown to a 3 hour format, which it makes sense. I think Raw is obviously what it is. It's maybe the more extreme show, and they get away with a little bit more on that show. But 3 hours on a Monday night is a lot to ask of your audience if they work a normal 9 to 5. And so I like this move. Um, I think maybe by the next draft, you see more of the superstars switch over to SmackDown because there's going to be more time allowed for them to showcase. So, uh, but they're still gonna uh, try and figure this 2 hour format out with Raw. It's been 3 hours long for the past 12 years. And so there's going to have to be a shift there. And, I think the Raw roster is maybe a little bit more, I don't want to say stacked, but um, it's maybe more interesting to me outside the Bloodline Cody stuff that they have on SmackDown. So we'll see how they do with that. Uh, we had a Jay Uso versus Xavier Woods match. Um, the match was what it was. At the end, Jay Uso ends up winning. Kofi congratulates him. And Xavier's like, no, I'm not going to shake his hand. Like, why are you shaking his hand? He just beat me. I thought we were on the same team. So they're continuing that drama between uh, the New Day, and I think we're gonna see probably a split between these two very soon. Do I think it's gonna be a match at Crown Jewel with Xavier and Kofi? Probably not. I don't know that that's a PLE type of match that you book. I think it could be a very strong SmackDown match. I'm sorry, would it would be a Raw match. But eh, I think the New Day is better served on SmackDown. Personally, I think it kind of fits their brand a little bit better. So we'll see. But I think that divorce is coming pretty soon. You did have Braun Breaker interrupt after the match, comes in, spears Jey Uso, totally throws out his whole handshake, I respect you stuff from last week with Jay. And then he goes on to spear the New Day as well. But, it Braun seems to have left or disregarded whatever respect he had for Jey Uso this week. To kind of start the show, you had CM Punk come out and talk about his match with Drew. Drew was not in attendance. They're probably giving this dude some time to heal. I think they knew, well, of course they knew the outcome of Bad Blood, but um, maybe this is just some playing time for Drew to be away. But if it wasn't, you probably had to shift gears a little bit and let Drew rest up after what he went through in his 16 staples at the top of his head on Monday night. Let's see. Other than that, just kind of a little bit of SmackDown preview. Like I said, Roman, Cody, and KO will be in attendance. I'm anticipating a big confrontation between Cody and KO on Friday night. And does Roman get involved in there somehow? I'm not sure. I think Roman maybe sticks more to the bloodline um, storyline uh, because he's not currently set for a match for Crown Jewel. So I think you're going to see some sort of Roman versus Jacob. That would likely be my matchup for Crown Jewel, would be a Roman Jacob. But it could very well be a Roman versus Solo match there. You've also got Jade and Bianca. They're scheduled to appear along with Bailey. And you had some hints from Bianca. Uh, I think it was during the little like club scene that they were doing um, backstage at the suites during Bad Blood. But Bianca was like, I wish her the best, whatever. So could be a renewed rivalry between Bianca and Bailey coming up on SmackDown. But we'll just have to wait and see. Other than that, I mean, yeah, it was a short Raw, it felt like. And it was pretty jam packed. So looking forward to Friday night. And we'll see. I'm really anticipating some fireworks between Cody and KO. Where does uh where does Randy Orton fall in here? Who knows? I think it could get interesting with those 3, 4, 5, 12 people, however many are involved. So we will see. But until then, I might drop a show this weekend as well after SmackDown and kind of talk about that. And we'll get a little closer to Monday Night Raw. And yeah, so looking forward to it. But other than that, thanks y'all for tuning in today. Appreciate you. And I'm out.
Welcome to the showdown, where we break it all down. Monday night, Raw goes wild, Smackdown lights the town. Wrestlers in the ring, fierce, from Cena to The Rock. Undertaker brings the fear, Brock Lesnar throws the shock. Casual guy, he's talking loud, WWE makes him proud. From the ropes to the mat, can you feel that wrestling bout? She's on fire, rolling, spinning with desire. Reigns with the Superman punch, style stealing the main event lunch. Every week we go live, listen close, feel the vibe, breaking down that wild scene. Wrestling's king in this arena. Casual guy, he's talking loud, WWE makes him proud. From the ropes to the mat, can you feel that wrestling bout? Loud, WWE makes him proud. From the ropes to the mat, can you feel that wrestling bout? Casual guy, he's talking loud, WWE makes him proud. From the ropes to the mat, can you feel that wrestling bout?
Peace.
Another Monday Night Raw, in the ring they clash. Smackdown Friday night, body slam with the crash. The casual guy talking, don't let it pass. He spits the truth in the wrestling podcast bash. they die for the belt that bends. Blood, sweat, and tears, they reap what they spend. In the square circle, lives twist and then listen to the tales, the casual guy's intent. From the top ropes, they die for the belt that bends. Blood, sweat, and tears, they reap what they spend. In the squared circle, live life, twist and then listen to the tales, the casual guy's intent. Tune in, tune out, hear the rush out. WrestleMania, wrestling wait. Heroes fall, villains rise, they dance the violent dance. Chairs, tables, ladders, stakes, the audience in a trance. The casual guy breaks it down chance by chance. He peels back the curtain, gives secrets a glance. Podcast waves reverberate like a count. Each move, each fight, not just for the clout. Standing tall in chaos, what it's all about. The casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Battles, unending tales, flashing lights, roaring crowd, no trumped up sales. Beyond the scripted saga, reality prevails. In the casual guy's realm, the truth never fails. Podcast waves reverberate like a count. Each move, each fight, not just for the clout. Standing tall in chaos, what it's all about. The casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Crushing battles and unending tales, flashing lights, roaring crowd, no trumped up sales. Beyond the script,